Hello, everyone. Just 2 days after the Chiron Sun cardinal square, we are having a Uranus Sun sextile, which is actually kind of dissolving the cardinal square. The Sun Chiron is still there. It's separating, but it's still quite tight. And I created a chart for the exact moment for London, and it's quite fascinating in many ways. First of all, because if you see that the date, if you look at the date, it's already the 15th of July. But if you look at the sun's position, it is still in the 4th house. So it is way away from the IC, which means it's really, technically speaking, still the previous day. But of course, the exact sextile, occurs at 0:02, so it's at midnight. So the clock time is midnight, but the sun indicates that it is really the previous time. This is because we have the zones, time zones, and not clock times throughout Europe. And if you take a look at the London chart, Chiron is rising on the ascendant, and there's still this very, very tight midpoint structure involving Aries, drastically altered outward circumstances at the Chiron North Node midpoint. The North Node is still in Taurus, indicating that we are actually living the last couple of days, last 2 days of the potential to create harmony, well-being, security, financial and otherwise secure environment for ourselves, because the next time we are going to have this placement is going to be 18 years from now, and a whole generation is going to grow up by then. So this is it. And of course, I'm going to talk about the sign change as well. So that's the and of course, Aries, the drastically altered outward circumstances, are forcing us to look at our karmic wounds and concentrate on what is our destiny choice. There's also, in this particular chart, we have a Ceres vertex conjunction. So our home, especially Londoners, the home is in jeopardy, so to speak, because the vertex is the point where you don't have enough free will. And Ceres is your nurturing principle, but also your motherhood, the home that you live in. There's also, up till November, we have sometimes tightening, sometimes separating Vesta Astrea conjunction. Vesta is a focusing principle and Astrea is the karma breaker. So up till November, we have this potential, and it features quite prominently in many of the charts, of the upcoming charts as well. At the moment, Vesta is a little bit further in Gemini, around 10 degrees, 9-10 degrees, and Astrea is a little bit behind, around 6 degrees. But the orb is still good for conjunction. And as you can see, dark moon Lilith, which is the acceptance of the curse, is on Vesta. So actually we can focus on karma breaking, of course, until November anytime. But at the moment, also there's a focus on, I will do whatever I have to do, and I don't care if you curse me. So that's the Lilith energy there, the dark moon Lilith energy. And there is this traffic jam at the end of Leo, beginning of Virgo. Venus, which is the fastest moving of the 4 celestial objects, is coming to an end in Leo. It's still there in the new moon, and by the 21st, no, maybe earlier, maybe by the 19th, it's moving into Virgo. And Mars Pallas Athena is already in Virgo, coming up to Trans-Pluto, which is not going anywhere. And a couple of days, maybe 10 days ago, there was an exact Mars Pallas Athena conjunction, which there's a video out there, so you can actually go and watch it. But it's still very tight. Mars is, of course, wars, and Pallas Athena is protection. It is homeland protection. So they're both are fighters, but very different, because Mars is really the aggressor, and Pallas Athena is trying to save the homeland. And of course, Trans-Pluto is a dimension jump. So that is, those are the key focuses of this Sun-Uranus sextile. And let's take a look at how the Chiron Sun square is still there. It is already separating because Chiron is at 20 degrees and the Sun is at 22.5 degrees, but the square is still there. And the Uranus Sun is the exact sextile, that's the moment. And there's also a Moon Chiron sextile. So it's a little interesting little configuration that we are getting here. This cardinal square, separating cardinal square, is really dissolved by a number of ways. First of all, it has a Astrea, it still has a structure. This, we call it a tense triangle, when a square is dissolved by two semi-squares, and that's what Astrea does because it is at the apex. And as you can see, the Chiron-Uranus semi-sextile is not closing because the orb is too big. It's about 2.5 degrees, and we only allow 1 to 1.5 degrees for semi-sextiles. But the Uranus moon and the sun moon are there. And it's interesting. I'm going to show you the previous 2 days ago. The chart was kind of very similar, but still different. 2 days earlier, when we had the exact Sun Chiron square, the moon was at 20 degrees Taurus. So it was dissolving the square, not just the Astrea tense triangle, but also the moon. The Sun-Moon sextile means in this point that it was a last quarter moon phase, and last quarter is reorientation. And now 2 days later, we have a balsamic moon phase already. So this is letting go, clearing the attic and throwing things out that we don't need, and also creating elixir for the next 30 days, 30 days. So let's take a look at the transcendental celestial objects. On Chiron, we don't have anything. On Uranus, you have Aristoteles, Themis, and Lempo. Themis is a previous goddess before Zeus and the Olympians, and she was the goddess of order, an order on earth, and she then got relegated to a titaness. And of course, Aristoteles is a philosopher, so we need to actually think about stuff and understand stuff, by which we can actually then go ahead and change things. And Lempo is an interesting little, it's actually not a proper TNO, it is a Plutino, which means that it is in co-orbital resonance with Pluto. Its orbital period, orbit is around 250 years, something like that. So just like Pluto. And Lempo is, it used to be a creator god for the Finnish people, but after they changed to become Christians, Lempo became a very dark and very sinister and some sort of really a villain figure in for the Finn. And then the Astrea has Hel conjunct with it. Hel is the lady of the underworld in Norse mythology. And then the sun has Lancelot, the knight in shining armor. And the moon has Apollo, which is, of course, the sun energy. So it's another shining energy. Bellatrix, which is a fixed star. It's the gamma star of Orion, which you can't see at the moment. You will be able to see it next time in November. And Bellatrix brings you success and recognition if you remain in the shadow. So when it's prominent in a chart, it usually denotes a person who likes to work from the shadow and is very, very successful, but doesn't like to go out into the limelight. And this Gunkomdima, which I don't know how to pronounce because it's an African name, and I can't really actually utter these African explosives. But anyhow, she is a creator goddess, a nature goddess. She is responsible for the aspects of nature: sunshine, light, water, soil, and everything that is necessary for human existence. And of course, it means that we are linking it to creation protection, not environmental protection. My dear young listener or watcher or viewer, because that is a load of crap that they are trying to shovel down our throats. It's whatever is green, labeled green, is darker than anything previously used, and it's just a new technology coming in, and they are giving us the tab, so we have to pay for it, for the whole change of technology. That's the problem. So that's on the moon. Those are on the moon. And as I said, this was the 2 days earlier chart. So the sun or the moon went from Taurus to Gemini and created a sextile over here. But this is the previous one. And we do have a complex planetary picture at 20 to 22 degrees. So if we add the ascendant descendant for the London chart, it's kind of a little bit loose, but okay, I still like the fact that we have a classic trapeze, especially when we add Black Moon Lilith. And as you can see, there's a trapeze with the ascendant, Chiron, descendant, and then the top of the classic trapeze is the moon and the black moon. So two feminine energies. And we have a couple of angel wings as well. There's the Uranus Sun Moon angel wing on the one hand, and the moon, Black Moon Lilith Sun on the other hand. Actually, it's like a tip on the trapeze. And there's also a platform. If you consider just the two angel wings intertwined, there's this fixed square between Uranus and Black Moon Lilith. That's the base of the platform. A platform is like a trapeze, but it's smaller. It has semi-sextiles as its sides, and so it's easy to step on on top. It's not really a true trapeze. It's more like one step. But the top of this platform is the Sun Moon semi-sextile, which is already coming up to the new moon. And I'm coming with another video. I'm going to put it into one, the Cancer new moon, and also the sign change of the nodal axis, because they are happening 2 hours apart. So I'm not going to make a separate video on that. And you have 2 more days actually to concentrate on the Taurus North Node, which means that you can actually concentrate on your well-being, on your harmony and well-being, creating powers. Think hard what you want and how you want it, and concentrate on it. Because for the next 1.5 years, the nodes will be in Aries and Libra, and we have a totally different task. We will need to become fighters, and we need to fight for our humanity, especially here in Europe, because yes, the white species is in danger. European classical culture is in danger. Men are in danger because this stupid level of toxic masculinity. It's so ridiculous. There's no such thing. Yes, there are some men who are brutes, but there's no such thing as general toxic masculinity. Men in tutu are not going to defend you, believe me. Anyhow, so I'm coming back with some new stuff soon. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.